It is senior night here at Fitzgerald Fieldhouse, and the Panther fans across the way, the student body, the Panther fans behind us on their feet, honoring senior Tico Cooper, and the man in street clothes coming on with his parents, senior Curtis Aiken. Curtis, unfortunately, will not be able to wave goodbye in uniform because of concussion suffered against Georgetown on Wednesday. Hello again, everybody. I'm Bill Hillgrove along with Ron Perry. And Ron Perry, I know it doesn't seem like it was that long ago when you had this same sort of moment at the gym up at Holy Cross.
Well, it's certainly a memorable moment for Curtis and for Tico, and the fans are up on their feet, and it's something you'll always remember as a player. And to share the moment with your parents is certainly a great moment for the players as Curtis Aiken raises his hand and takes the plaque that he's been awarded.
Curtis Aiken was the first All-America high school player recruited in the Pitt program, and his recruitment certainly has helped Pitt turn the corner in the recruitment process, allowing people like Charles Smith and Jerome Lane to come in and fuel the fires here for Pitt basketball, which tonight enjoys its 31st consecutive sellout.
Well, that's what it takes, and as you get a good look at Curtis there and Tico at center court, once you start getting those good players in, Bill, it does have the rippling effect, and Curtis was instrumental in starting that out.
Tico Cooper wanted a red shirt last year as he came over from Community College of Allegheny County. There he is with his family, who came all the way from Aruba to be with Tico tonight at senior night at Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. Right now for the starting lineups, let's go to public address announcer Clayton Hartman.
For tonight's Big East basketball game. First, the guard for Villanova, 6'4" senior from Trumbull, Connecticut, number 32, Harold Jensen. For Pitt, 6'5" junior from Detroit, Michigan, number 33, Demetrius Gore. For the Wildcats, a 5'9" sophomore from Jersey City, New Jersey, number 3, Ken Wilson. For the Panthers, a 6'3" sophomore from Elizabeth, New Jersey, number 11, Mike Goodson. And now the forward for Villanova, a 6'7" junior from Wakefield, Massachusetts, number 31, Mark Plansky. For Pitt, a 6'6" sophomore from Akron, Ohio, number 34, Jerome Lane. For the Wildcats, a 6'6" sophomore from Altoona, Pennsylvania, number 42, Doug West. For Pitt, freshman, number 21, Rod Brooken. And the centers for Villanova, 7'2" freshman from Huntington, New York, number 33, Tom Grice. And for Pitt, a 6'10" junior from Bridgeport, Connecticut, number 32, Charles Smith. The Wildcats are coached by Raleigh Massimino. And coaching our Pitt Panthers, Paul Evans.
Pitt against Villanova. Stick around, we'll have it for you.
There's something special cooking at Eden Park. Always has been.
This baby will blow the doors off anything on the road, just like a BMW.
Isn't she a beauty? BMW would build one like this.
You think BMW has advanced technology? Listen to this.
Your door is open.
For about $22,000, you can own a BMW 325 or the hollow feeling of having settled for less. Test drive the ultimate driving machine at your Pittsburgh area BMW dealers.
10.2 goals.
Well, there are the matchups, and you see at the center spot, Tom Grice is going to start. The tallest player in Villanova history, 7'2". Rodney Taylor, not available, out for the year. He underwent surgery for a foot ailment that's been bothering him ever since he came in this year as a freshman. And, of course, Rod Brooken getting the start for the Panthers.
Curtis Aiken, of course, with that concussion he suffered in the Georgetown game, will be unavailable in this one, his last home game as a senior for the Pitt Panthers.
7'2", Tom Grice, number 33 in the blue uniform. Charles Smith, number 32 in the white. The Panthers have the basketball and start left to right. Pitt favored by 9 points, according to the experts here tonight, having dealt a 58-57 loss to Villanova at DuPont Pavilion in a great game a couple of weeks ago on the 4th of February.
Look for Villanova to open up as they are in their matchup 2-3 zone. It looks like a man-to-man, but they match up. They will not go through with the cutters, but try to get to the shooters. They must box out in this game. Jerome Lane and Charles Smith been deadly inside, getting the second and third efforts.
Goodson wide open. And there come the streamers. And a bagel comes down, too. Several bagels. Now, why in the world would people throw bagels? It's a tradition that unfortunately developed in Philadelphia, and I don't think it's good for college basketball. I think it just, first of all, it's dangerous. These are not always streamers being thrown down here. They're rolls of tissue paper, and a full roll of tissue paper from a far distance can, when it hits the announcer's head, it can hurt.
That's for sure, Billy. And I think when you start seeing bagels coming out of the crowd, that's another thing I really wouldn't want to be hitting the head with. And what it does is really stops the play too right away, and you'll see the players trying to regroup and get settled up.
Did you pick up one of the bagels to see how fresh they are?
Yeah, it looked pretty fresh from what I could see, although Rolly Massimino didn't go dashing out there for one of them.
If they're real fresh, they will not hurt.
But if they've been sitting around for a while, watch out.
A deadly weapon. 2-0. Panthers lead it on Michael Goodson's straightaway jumper, and Pitt just got the zone working left and right and left again. And finally, when Kenny Wilson went to pay attention to Rod Brooken, Goodson was wide open.
Well, and that'll open up the inside passing lanes. As you were talking about that, Bill, making a good point about throwing things down. I think one way to deter that type of thing would be to assess the home team with a technical foul, which maybe we'll see in future years if the NCAA gets around to ruling on that.
Ball knocked out by Pitt. It belongs to Villanova. And Doug West of Altoona, a sophomore, to key it in, number 42. And Kenny Wilson, number 3, the 5'9" phenom from Jersey City to operate the Villanova offense. And when he can penetrate, Villanova, when the ball gets into the hands of the shooters like Jensen and Plansky and West, Villanova can be awesome.
He's critical in this game to just run the show and make good decisions for Villanova.
Reach-in foul by Jerome Lane. First of the game. It happens at 18:56. Pitt with a 2-0 lead. Villanova will go to the line. They rule that a 2-shot shooting foul. They say West was trying to bring the ball up.
Now, he had left his feet, and he got fouled after he had left his feet going up for the shot, so I think that was a good call. Interesting defensively that time. Pitt extended their D to a 2-2-1 three-quarter court press, perhaps trying to pick the pace up in this game very early on.
West, a 75% foul shooter, puts Villanova on the board and now can tie the game at 18:56.
He had 17 in the first outing between these two teams, and he'll be a critical player shooting the ball from the baseline and getting inside.
The game is tied. West's career high is 25 points. Kenny Wilson's career high of 22 points was attained against Pitt last year. Pitt trying to beat the pressure now. Brooken open, and he traveled trying to set up a move around Grice. And so the Panthers in a tie game turn it over.
What Rod did that time was got the ball, and unusual for him in recent play, hesitated. Once he did that, he ended up picking up the pivot foot and walking with the ball.
Villanova with a chance for their first lead in this basketball game. We're just underway. And there's Plansky from the baseline with an air ball. Lane with an easy rebound. The nation's leading rebounder, Jerome Lane, averaging 13+.
One of the easier ones that he's had out of the Pitt 2-3 zone.
Rod Brooken can't get it to go, and Grice with the easy rebound for Villanova. Ball deflected but controlled by Kenny Wilson of the Wildcats in a 2-2 game. Nice pass, Jensen. Plansky with the follow. Plansky first couldn't get it up there and just stuck with it, and it's 4-2 Villanova.
1-3-1 pressure by Villanova, trying to really slow Pitt down more than anything, not to allow the easy fast break basket, but if Pitt can attack it, they will.
Pitt looking for help from number 33, Demetrius Gore. Brooken missing the shot, but there's that offensive rebound by Lane, and he's fouled and will shoot 2. Referees tonight, as assigned by the Big East, Peter Pavia, Art McDonald, who just made that call, and Roger Paramore.
Now, Jerome Lane works so well for inside rebounding position. He wasn't boxed that time by Plansky, and once he gets it down there, he's able to draw the foul or cash in, this time the former.
Lane has had a lapse of concentration on occasion at the line this year, but despite that, shooting 65%, which is an improvement over what he had been earlier on.
One of the few things that he does seem to need to improve on the way he's played this year.
Second is no good. Rebound Smith. Foul by Smith. He climbed it back to pull it down. So Lane misses both. Villanova with a 4-2 lead has the basketball and has the first foul on Charles Smith.
Now, there wasn't a real hefty push by Charles Smith. That could have been a no call. One of the things that's very important for Pitt in this ball game is to keep Smith out of foul trouble. He's been prone to the foul trouble in his career. They need to keep him on the floor.
Kenny Wilson in a trap to West. Out to Grice. Grice, a good offensive player. And he gets the hook shot. Tom Grice, and it's 6-2. Villanova with a 4-point lead.
Best thing the freshman did there, too, was to just get the ball, no hesitation, and he made his move. Very important for Villanova to get out to that early lead here at Fitzgerald. The kind of tempo they want to play. They don't want to be playing catch-up ball.
Grice played well against Syracuse last Monday night. Goodson from outside again. He has all 4 Pitt points, and the Panthers are down by 2. It's 6-4.
That's important for Villanova to get good inside play because they've been quiet in the middle this year with Wyatt Maker and Tom Grice. But Grice has been coming alive lately, Bill.
And Villanova turns it over. The ball is out of bounds and belongs to Pitt. Goodson pushing the ball up court for the Panthers. The sophomore from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Gore loose on the baseline, is fouled on the play and will shoot 2. Gore at the foul line this year, 76%. Demetrius Gore, as we tried to point out earlier, the junior from Detroit, has been in a wicked slump, and nobody feels worse about it than does Demetrius. He almost had tears in his eye when he discussed it with a former player the other day, and he's trying so hard to come out of it, and I think in a case like that, when you try hard, it even gets worse.
And as we were talking before, he just hasn't been accustomed to being in this position where he's been struggling in certain games. So I think when you try even harder, sometimes you put yourself into a pressing situation instead of just letting the play come to you, and that's what he needs to do, get it out of the flow of the game.
Former Mr. Basketball in the state of Michigan, and that is quite an honor, from Chadsey High in Detroit. And the game is tied 6-6.
I think the thing that upset Rolly Massimino that time, Pitt didn't really have a fast break, just beat Villanova with the ball down court, and Villanova didn't react defensively out of their own defensive set.
Now Jensen comes out to handle, but immediately heads inside. Wilson straight away. Gary Massey in the lineup for the Villanova Wildcats as Jensen fires away and misses. Brookin on the rebound. West is on his back. Team foul number 3 for Villanova. West's first at 16:35.
Well, Pitt is playing the 2-3 zone. It's a big zone. The smallest player on the floor for Pittsburgh is Mike Goodson at 6'3". So Villanova does have to shoot over that zone. They'll need penetration by Kenny Wilson. That's what Rolly Massimino is looking for. Force the perimeter shots.
Villanova matched up. They're in the man-to-man. Goodson now trying to evade that 5-second count. Gore with West. Wilson out to check Goodson. Smith trying to go out, draw Grice out. Rolly Massimino wanted a travel call, didn't get it. Play continues. Shot clock hits 21 seconds. Smith around Grice. The basket will count, and the foul will belong to Grice, his first.
Good quick move inside by Charles Smith. Didn't waste any time, and he's much quicker than Tom Grice. Grice allows that ball in there, and Smith getting it in that close. That's ill-advised. Better off for the big 7'2" guy to try to take that pass away. Smith too quick down at the low post.
Panthers get the lead back and now can run it to a 3-point advantage. Charles Smith at the line this year, 75%. 9-6.
And for the most part, in the first outing between these two teams, Pitt settled back into the zone. They feel they have the height advantage to play the half-court game. Look for Villanova to milk the clock and take shots with 15 to 20 seconds on it. The high percentage variety with this man creating the action.
There's Grice. Dumping it off to Massey. He can't hold on to it. Massey almost didn't expect it, and it caused a problem for Villanova, and we'll have a stoppage of play. An official timeout at 15:49. Panthers lead at 9-6. We'll be back.
It took mankind centuries to invent an airplane that works.
Now, at long last, mankind has invented an airline that works. Piedmont, rated among the highest in service and lowest in complaints of any major airline. Piedmont, a model of how good an airline can be.
We made it! Our first real deal!
Now if we can just make our flight.
When you're hot, you're hot.
Agent, we got red hot cars. Red hot cars. We got a red hot crew. We got a red hot crew. We got super value rates. We try harder too. Agent, we're red hot for you.
And how good a deal did we get on that car?
When you're hot, you're hot.
Avis, red hot.
There's a Pitt Pep Band here at Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. This copyrighted telecast is produced by authority of the Big East Conference and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express consent of the Big East Conference is prohibited. 9-6. Panthers have a 3-point lead and the basketball. Pitt now 3 for 5 in the field goal department. Villanova 2 for 5 in the early going.
Villanova now working out of a 1-3-1 zone matchup. They like to go with the 1-3-1 and the 2-3, make it look like a man, but get to shooters.
Gore with that quick move. Lane with the rebound, his third. Grice with a block in the rebound. Nice play by Tom Grice.
Great play by Grice. Didn't really have to even leave his feet. Just kept his position, kept his hands straight up, blocked it, and was able to maintain possession. Great work.
Paul Evans out on his haunches, giving Art McDonald a couple of hundred words about that play. Thought that Lane may have been fouled. Panthers with a 9-6 lead. Villanova working. Good change of direction by Wilson. Wide open West on the baseline. Doug West. And Villanova cuts it to 1. It's 9-8. West's first field goal and 4th point.
And that was the penetration by Kenny Wilson. Did a good job to split the 2-3. Pitt can't allow that.
The ball comes into the hands of Rod Brooken. He doesn't get the shot, but he gets the foul on the play. And let's see who is the culprit. I believe it could be Gary Massey, and that's who exactly it is. Villanova now with 5 team fouls, 2 for the Panthers, and Brooken will shoot 2. Rod Brooken, the freshman from Steelton, has not been to the line in this game yet. He's a 72% foul shooter.
He has really just played better and better for Paul Evans as this season has progressed. Got his first start against UConn last Saturday, had 13 points, 8 rebounds. His season has just gotten better and better as he's gone along.
Brooken missing. Panthers remain a 1-point leader at 14-50. Gets the roll on the second.
Can't even call that one the shooter's roll. That went up off the backboard, but he'll take it.
We got the good bounce. Villanova bench up complaining. I think they detected a lane violation. Panthers lead it by 2. Villanova with Kenny Wilson, that exciting sophomore. Nice move by Plansky inside, but he didn't put a good shot up. I think Smith might have changed his mind. The ball is contested in the backcourt and a foul by Wilson. And that's team foul number 6 for the Wildcats.
Well, that was a quick shot by Plansky, and Charles Smith didn't block that one. It won't show up on the box score, but he was able to make Plansky take a quick shot, throw his direction off on the play, and then enable Pitt to get the ball and eventually get fouled.
One more, Pitt will be in the bonus. The Panthers as a club have shot 69% in the charity stripe this year. Villanova, an excellent free throw shooting club, 76%.
That's an outstanding ratio. If you get over 70%, you're doing very well.
Home run, Mike Goodson makes it 13-8. The Panthers have a 5-point lead, their first 5-point lead of the night.
Michael Goodson, ever since the midseason ball game where Paul Evans sat him against Duquesne here at Fitzgerald, he came back with a 19-point game against Seton Hall, and he's really been on the run.
Doug West answers with a 3-pointer of his own, deep on the right wing.
West is really rising to the occasion. He can put points up there. He's got 7 already, and as I mentioned, had 17 in the first contest between these two teams.
Brooken from 3-point range, no. Lane with a rebound, and he traveled. He couldn't get the ball down quickly enough.
Pace of this game is really picking up, though, and that's to the liking of Pittsburgh. Villanova really has to pick their spots where they run and then bring it down, walk it up, and set it up as they will right here.
Wyatt Maker checks in for the Wildcats, 6'11" senior from Salinas, California.
Been bothered by that arthroscopic knee surgery on the right knee prior to the season. It slowed him down, but he's looked better in recent games.
West, and a steal by Gore. Only Wilson to beat. No! And West is fouled by Goodson from behind at 13-20. Team foul number 4 for the Panthers, and for Goodson, his first personal.
Gore did everything right on that play, anticipated very well. Kenny Wilson was right with him, but Gore was very under control going for the basket. And that's what gives the coach headaches as Paul Evans wipes his eyes.
I was premature on that team foul. It's only the third. Smith, Lane, and Goodson each have a foul for Pitt. Villanova, meanwhile, has 16 fouls. And Bryce is the only man with more than one.
Villanova has to basically rely on the perimeter game. If they can hit those shots, perhaps free up Wyatt Maker inside or Mark Plansky.
Smith got a piece of it, but Jensen came up with the ball. And Gore got a piece of not only the ball, but Wilson's arm, and Wilson will shoot 2. Kenny Wilson, an 81% foul shooter. That is team foul number 4 for the Panthers, and Gore is first.
Kenny Wilson, St. Anthony's in Jersey City. They call him Special K. Imagine the backcourt he had in high school teaming up with David Rivers. A lot of quickness.
They'd need more than one ball, I would think. 2 dominant players at the guard spot.
Great recovery that David Rivers has made for Notre Dame after the serious accident he had this past summer, leading the Fighting Irish.
Wilson to try to tie it at 12:53. It's 13-all.
Villanova going to their three-quarter court pressure, 1-2-1-1 after a made field goal.
Lane handling. Open Gore. The pass too far for Smith. Brooken got a piece of the arm of Wilson, and they don't call the foul. They call the out-of-bounds play, and Raleigh all over Art McDonald.
Well,
there's no question about it. He got grabbed.
That's right. Wilson was going for that ball, and he got held up inside. The whole Villanova bench jumped up, and right after that play, Wilson then stepped on the sideline. That was a good call by the official. They may have missed a reach in down low.
13-all. Villanova matching up. They've got a zone look now.
It's a 2-3. It looks close to a man-to-man, but they won't go through with the cutter, and that's how you detect the difference between the matchup zone and a straight man-to-man.
Gore popping out behind a screen, coming in over Brooken. Brooken set that up by tying up that whole left side.
And Demetrius Gore seems to be looking for his good offense a little earlier in this game with Curtis Aiken out of the lineup. He suffered the concussion. He will not see action. Other players will assume those scoring roles, though.
Panthers by 2, 15-30 at 12 minutes remaining first half.
It's really a must game for Villanova. They really need this one, and they need their last game of the season, an away game at Providence. A good win in the Big East tournament to get themselves into the NCAA, Bill.
Jensen to Wilson. Gore got a piece of it.
Good defense.
It's a 3-on-2, and Gore stepped. And what he did was hesitate before he passed the ball. You've got to pass it first and then worry about faking out the official.
Let the defense tell you what to do, and Demetrius out-faked himself on that one.
Villanova has the ball when we come back.
Iron City and you. For over 100 years, we've been brewing a beer for the man who works the rivers, works the Allegheny, works the Mon, works the Big O. Iron. Always was, always will be. Pumping iron.
The Alabama International Motor Speedway at Talladega. 3 standard production stops. It's probably pretty unlikely you'll ever need a car that can go 132 miles per hour, day and night, for 62,000 miles straight. But just in case you do, there's only one that's ever done it, the Saab 9000.
For details and a test drive in the Saab 9000, visit one of your greater Pittsburgh area Saab dealers.
The Panthers have a 15-13 lead, but Villanova now will have the basketball. Each team has turned it over 4 times. Pitt, however, has 4 team fouls to Villanova's 6, and we're at the 11:42 mark, first half.
Demetrius Gore that time hesitated, as you mentioned, Bill, looking at Doug West off to a very good start in this game with 7 points. And Demetrius Gore is prone to the turnover. He runs the break well. He's got 89 assists coming into the game, but 84 turnovers, and you like to see a 2-for-1 ratio and Demetrius is pretty close to the 1-to-1 ratio with those stats.
No changes for Pitt, none for Villanova. Yes, no, there is none for Villanova. Same 10 come back, and that's Wilson from 3. And Villanova's back up on top, 16-15.
Never a dull moment in college basketball with the new three-point shot. Whether you like it or not, it does add excitement to the game.
Villanova now matching up all the way around. Lane around Maker with that little left-handed hook shot. Nice job, Jerome Lane, the sophomore from Akron.
That's quickness for you. 6'6" up against the 6'10" Wyatt Maker, but he was able to really quick him inside with the left-handed shot.
Now on the blocks, Plansky to a wide-open West from 3. Missed it badly, and Smith had the easy rebound. Pitt in the transition game. And Goodson decided that Gore was too well covered, so he waits till Gore gets open in the corner. The Panthers go into their pattern attack with a 1-point lead at 10:45.
That's the importance of the floor, General. A good decision by Goodson that time not to give it up.
Three-pointer by Goodson, his second of the night, and it's 20-16.
He's playing an extremely good floor game, shooting the ball well from the perimeter, making good decisions from the point in the absence of Curtis Aiken.
Goodson has half the Panther output, 10 of the 20.
Really improved his outside shooting, Bill.
Jensen just threw that ball up there. Gore with the rebound. Nice pass to Lane.
Nice pass.
Lane with a great pass to Goodson, but it took him too far under, so he wisely circles it back out.
Once again, that's poise. He didn't throw up a difficult shot under the basket, set up for the high percentage shot. There it is.
Another left-hander by Lane, but this time Plansky comes across to clear. Maker did a better job defensively of causing Lane to miss that shot. Now on the baseline, a reach-in foul by Pitt, their 15th foul. Let's see what referee Peter Pavia has decided. Is it on Rod Brooken? Yes, it is. Pat Cavanaugh checking in, number 12, the walk-on from Grove City, who no longer is a walk-on, but that's a matter of debate. Once you walk on, I guess, are you always a walk-on? He has a scholarship now, is the point I'm trying to make.
I think you could say he was a walk-on.
Somebody asked Mike Godfrey, the football coach, and here comes Jensen from three-point range. No. Over Lane's head, West has it easily. West missed the putback, and Smith with a rebound. Mike Godfrey said, no, I don't think I'll get him back as a quarterback. Now, I put him on loan to Paul Evans, and Paul has retained the rights. Smith missing, Plansky clearing. Here comes Villanova in the fast break. Wilson with one man back. Goes around that man and cans the shot, and it's 20-18. Nice move, Kenny Wilson.
And again, a good decision by Wilson. We're seeing some fine point guard play with Mike Goodson and Kenny Wilson in the game, making the decision whether to break or shoot the ball.
Great pass by Charles Smith. Jerome Lane was wide open. Villanova fell asleep defensively.
Monster dunk. Charles Smith has been playing more high post in recent weeks. When he gets it there at 6'11", he can see over the defense, and Jerome Lane put that one through with an exclamation point.
Panthers lead by 4. Wilson straight away for the Cats. West. It won't go, and Lane has it, and Pitt is in its fast break, but 3 blue shirts are back.
Good transition defense by Villanova, particularly Wilson stopping the penetrating Goodson.
Cavanaugh to Lane, to Smith. Panthers restart from way outside. Now Cavanaugh will work the point, and Goodson will go off the ball.
We've seen it several times. The ball go down low in this game and see it get kicked back out, and that's a good decision on the part of the low people not to force it in there when they don't have the shot.
Cavanaugh, not the quickest kid in the world, but he's long on courage. Goodson, nope. And Lane tried to tip it, but Plansky has it. Here comes Villanova down by 4.
That was a quick shot by Goodson that time, the only one that he's taken so far, and the result wasn't the same because he rushed it.
Jensen thought about trying to set up a jumper there, but Cavanaugh gets there, so Jensen said, let's restart it.
Now, Villanova really wants to work this clock, keep the score down, look for their good high percentage perimeter shot, and try to get a couple of second efforts inside. Nothing in low so far for the Cats.
Jensen from three-point range, and it's 22-21. Villanova down by 1.
You live and die with the perimeter game, and it's working for Villanova right now.
Goodson works the corner for the Panthers. Three-pointer, no. Lane tips himself the rebound, and he gets the pass off to Cavanaugh. And the crowd loves the effort by Jerome Lane. Charles Smith is short. Rebound, Brooken. Rod Brooken.
That's the attention that Smith does command when he's around the foul line area. And it's very advisable for both Brooken and Lane to hit the boards in those instances because the crowd is away from them.
Wilson from three-point range. Smith with the rebound. And here comes the Pitt fast break. Cavanaugh.
Nice pass.
Goodson. And they call goaltending on West.
It's a good call. That ball was on its downward flight and it hit the backboard, but it was on its way down. That's the reason for the goaltending call.
7 minutes, 7 seconds left of the half. Pitt by 5.
You going to work already?
It's 7 o'clock.
It's been a rough week. No, I'm not going to be a resident forever, you know.
You'll always work like one.
Hey, he likes little kids. And someday there's going to be more money.
And we won't know what to do with it.
Right. Maybe it's time we get some advice.
The willingness to work a little harder. That's pride in performance. Some people build their lives on it. We built a bank on it. Pittsburgh National.
With Boron's new Charge and Save program,
Fill it up, sir. Premium and charge it.
you could go from this island to this island.
Fill it up, sir.
Sure. Because every credit purchase earns discounts for travel, restaurants, shopping, car repairs, and more. So if you'd like to be here, start here.
I did say charge it, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good, good.
Charge and save at Boron.
The Plymouth Player of the Game will be selected at the conclusion of this game and during every game, televised by the Big East Conference Television Network. It's part of Chrysler Corporation's sponsorship of Big East basketball. The Panthers so far in the basketball game have taken 21 shots and made 10 from the floor. Villanova has taken 17 and the Cats have made 7.
Villanova has primarily gone to the perimeter game. Neither team turning the ball over that much so far. 4 apiece. Not a lot of defensive pressure. It's a half-court struggle, but Pittsburgh has a better inside game going, and thus their field goal percentage shooting is that much better.
Panthers winners 9 of their last 10 games, 17 of their last 20, 22-5 overall. Villanova 15-12, trying to hang on to get into the NCAA in this game tonight. Very important for that cause.
And it's important for Pitt because a win guarantees them at least a tie for first place in the Big East Conference.
A tie that they'd rather have with Syracuse than Georgetown.
That's for sure, Bill.
First tiebreakers head-to-head competition. Georgetown has beaten the Panthers twice. Pitt, meanwhile, has beaten Syracuse twice. Plansky decided the better of it and then thought, well, let me throw it up. It was a three-pointer, but it wasn't in there, and Lane with the rebound and outletting to Kavanaugh.
Last couple of times, Villanova has not had good shot selection from deep around the perimeter.
There we go with Pat Kavanaugh, his first bucket of the night, the freshman from Grove City.
Paul Evans has done a good job since the Duquesne game, midway through the season, where Kavanaugh played better than 30 minutes of the game, collecting 8 points. And in a game like this, which is a slower tempo, a half-court type of game, he can be a very valuable performer.
Kavanaugh coming off the bench, led the Panthers in assists against Connecticut Saturday with 8.
That's another game where it would be a half-court type of game where he can shine. But the point is, he's got experience now and confidence to put him in.
Great penetrating move by Wilson, but he can't get the shot to go. And Tico Cooper saying goodbye as a senior here tonight, clears a rebound for the Panthers. Lane outside again. Kavanaugh wasn't ready, needs to save it, and he was out of bounds, and the ball belongs to Villanova. Villanova has Doug West coming back into the game after arrest. He'll replace Harold Jensen.
That brought Paul Evans up off the bench. That time Lane had the ball down low with a defensive player behind him, and he was about 5 feet from the basket in the low post, and Evans said, hey, Jerome, take that one to the goal and draw a foul or score, will you?
I think Jerome's thinking about the last one he had against Maker, which he missed.
Might be. But Paul Evans says, take it in there anyways.
Of course, Maker's not there right now. It's Tom Grice. Meantime, offensively, Villanova, great pass inside, but Plansky can't get it to go. Lane launches the fast break on his own. Goodson from three-point range. Lane with a rebound. Jerome Lane, the nation's leading rebounder, showing you why. Pitt with its biggest margin, it's 30-21.
The reason he's the nation's rebounder is that he's always working on both boards. He dished the ball off that time, fought for weak side rebounding position, and Charles Smith did a great job to seal off the defensive player and allow Lane to go in and score.
Rebound margin, Pitt 14, Villanova 7 so far.
Now, it's a big difference. Villanova's only getting 1 shot on the offensive end.
Doug West from the baseline. He got open that time.
Need to get him the ball as much as possible. He's the one player that has the hot hand.
Charles Smith with a head fake and finally decides, I'm going to put it up. Lane with another rebound, stepped in front of Grice. And the crowd goes ooh and ah. The sophomore from Akron has been a tower of strength this year.
Someone has to put a body on him. He has his own way down low, and every rebound off the offensive board seems to be his.
Charles Smith down the lane, and let's see who the foul belongs to. If it's Grice, it's his third. The basket is good, and the foul is on Grice, his third.
That limits Rolly Massimino's defensive schemes. Trying to go man-to-man, you really run into some mismatch problems, and there's one with Smith going against Grice, getting the step and drawing the foul.
Panthers can run it to a 10-point margin right here. Charles Smith is 1 for 1 in the game from the line. Doesn't get the roll. Yes, he does. Panthers by 10.
That's the soft touch right there. When you think it won't go in, hangs on the rim like glue and then drops for you.
4 minutes, 35 seconds left of the half. Connolly Brown will come in on the next buzzer for the Wildcats. Meantime, Maker's in there for Grice.
This is where you really need to keep your poise, and with the veterans out there like Jensen, it helps to do it. Kavanaugh in the push that time.
Kavanaugh got the deflection, and in trying to make a beeline for the ball, knocked over Kenny Wilson. Good call by Roger Paramore.
Just ran over his man, but the point I was making, down by 10, Villanova needs to just chip away at that lead, not try to get it all at once, and go in at halftime, certainly with a deficit that's not greater than 10, and preferably for them, something less than 10.
Panthers have 16 fouls. West against Smith. Nice move, Doug West. Knew he had Smith coming out of position, went right around him, and it's 33-25.
West has been very active, looks good offensively.
Jerome Lane can't get the bank, but gets the rebound. Jerome Lane missing, and the rebound goes to Harold Jensen. Jerome already with 10 rebounds in the game.
Oh, he's controlling the glass. At least half of them, too, seem to be offensive rebounds.
3 minutes, 45 seconds left as Wilson launches a shot. Kenny Wilson, and it's 33-27.
Wilson and West with 20 of Villanova's 27 points, most of them from the perimeter.
Kavanaugh from Smith. Pat Kavanaugh, 35-27.
Curtis Aiken out of the lineup, different players assuming scoring responsibilities. Kavanaugh, a pleasant surprise for Pittsburgh.
Has 4 points, and the Panthers lead by 8 at 3:15.
Averages only 1.1 points per game, so he's already well above that, shooting the ball well from the perimeter.
Good penetrating move by West. Are they going to give him the basket? No basket. It's a floor foul, so he'll shoot 2. And the Villanova bench does not like the call. Doug West not real pleased by the call as well. Let's take a look.
Penetrating move. They're calling the foul on the floor before he left the ground. But if you rule that he bumped his body once he was up there, Rolly Massimino does have an argument.
That should be team foul number 7 for Pitt. Scoreboard hasn't changed that yet. And West missing. The 1-and-1. 2:54 remaining. Charles Smith too far on the baseline. Good defensive job by Maker. Now Smith comes out, draws Maker with him, misses the jumper, and it's an easy rebound for Doug West. To Connolly Brown.
Good catch by Brown to get possession and get it back out.
2.5 minutes remaining.
This really takes discipline to back the ball out. Villanova would like to go in there and take the first good one. They're trying to take some time off the clock as well.
Wyatt Maker from the baseline for his first field goal, and Villanova draws it within 6. It's 35-29.
Excellent job by Villanova. We mentioned cutting it under 10. They've done just that with good patient offense.
Charles Smith. Smith has turned it up a notch in this game offensively. He just said, this is my kind of game.
They're playing behind him. He wants the ball, and there's certainly a mismatch there, and Smith has done a good job between the high and low posts.
Three-pointer by Jensen is good, and it's 37-32. For Harold Jensen now, that's point number 6, both on three-pointers.
He's taken over 100 of those shots this year. He's their long-range threat.
Villanova back in a 2-3 zone at 1:40, down by 5, and the Panthers with 26 seconds on the shot clock.
Pitt really looking to dump it in low right now. They're trying to find Smith whenever possible. There he is.
Smith. Connolly Brown got there. Kavanaugh around Jensen. Pat Kavanaugh.
3 for 3. And that's really got to break Rolly Massimino's back. He's trying to defend everyone else very well. Kavanaugh comes in with the hot hand.
Kavanaugh has 6, and Pitt leads it by 7. Jensen around Smith. Wilson around Kavanaugh. The ball was deflected by Holmes. They called a foul. Hold on. Did they call a foul? No. They just indicated that it's out of bounds Villanova. And we'll have a stoppage of play with 1 minute 3 seconds left of the half. Panthers lead it by 7. We'll be right back after this.
Let me just run that through the computer for you, sir. Hey, you know I was all set to go tarpon fishing in Tampa, but no. Piedmont starts offering these incredibly low fares, and the next thing you know, they need extra help in reservations. Now, to take advantage of these incredibly low fares, you have to buy your tickets in advance, and I'm telling you, these planes are filling up fast, so you better call Piedmont or your travel agent today. Yes, sir, you just got the last seat on that flight to Tampa. That could have been my seat.
Is this one of them Japanese imports?
Hi, Colt Premier.
Mitsubishi built Colt Premier. It's fun to drive.
Oh, Tamashina.
Has the boost of optional turbo.
Sugoi turbo da.
It's luxurious. And imported only for Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge dealers. Colt.
Sayonara.
It's all the Japanese you need to know.
Is that Japanese?
It's Tokyo in Japan.
Huh?
Panthers lead it by 7 with 1:03 remaining first half. Villanova so far in the basketball game. Doug West, the high man, with 11 points. Kenny Wilson next high with 9. For Pitt, Michael Goodson has 12 points. And then we go down to Charles Smith with 8. And a big surprise coming off the bench, and he's 3 for 3, is Pat Cavanaugh. And look at the rebounds of Jerome Lane. Double figures already.
Very active at both ends of the floor. There have been several occasions where he's had 2 or 3 rebounds in one series. This works very hard and has a nose for the ball, Bill.
Kenny Wilson with 1 minute left of the half. Harold Jensen looks inside.
Villanova's done an excellent job to chip away at this lead with some good perimeter shooting and patience on the offensive end. Barry Beckadam is checked into the lineup, one of the 2 top high school recruits out of PA, along with Rod Brooken for Pittsburgh.
6'10" freshman. Jensen won't have it go. Big fight for the rebound, and Gore comes out of there and has an arm with him. And Jensen, unfortunately for Harold, gets caught with a foul, but what else can you call there? He's got his arm there, and when Gore wrapped it up, it's a violation of space, I guess.
How about that look of intensity on Harold Jensen's face? He's a senior. He's been through the wars. He's really a hard worker, and he just got his arm tangled up that time. No question about the call.
Demetrius Gore shooting a 1-and-1 for the Panthers with 38 seconds left of the half. Now they whistle something down, and who was in the lane? No basket. And they give the ball to Villanova because Pitt was in there too soon. Lane violation.
That'll make you crazy as a coach to have those kind of mental mistakes, particularly in a 7-point game where you can build a lead before halftime. Villanova's got the shot clock off right now. Hold for the last shot. Look for penetration by Wilson with under 10 seconds, dumping off to either Jensen or perhaps West on the wings.
There you see the time remaining. Pitt just sits in that 2-3 zone, and now Wilson cranks it up. Maker on the baseline, out of the trap.
Pitt trapping out of the 2-3. Oh, good steal by Cooper.
They throw the pass. Here comes Demetrius Gore trying to weave his way around. 5 seconds left. Demetrius from 30 feet. And Brooken tries to fight Beckadam for the rebound, and the buzzer sounds before anything else could happen. That's the end of the first half. With a score, Pitt 39, Villanova 32. We'll be back right after this.
9 of our student athletes competed in the Olympics. 6 of our baseball teams have qualified for postseason play. We've had over 100 All-Americans in men's and women's track and field. We had the NCAA soccer champion in 1981. We've sent a women's basketball team to the NCAAs the past 4 years. We're a lot more than just men's basketball. We're the Big East Conference.
Now remember to keep your jacket zipped and your boots on, because Joe DiNardo said we're going to get 4 more inches of snow today. And remember to keep your hat and your gloves on.
But Mommy!
No buts about it. Joe said with the wind chill factor, it's going to be 20 degrees below 0 today, and I want you to keep nice and warm. But what?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Why does this always happen?
Joe said it would.
The winter buyer's forecast from your world-class Ford dealers. Now, when you buy a four-wheel drive pickup with a special option package, you get savings of up to $1,821. Or style, comfort, and power in Bronco 2 with winter savings up to $1,565. And register now for one of 9 Escort GLs to be given away on March 13th. See your world-class Ford dealers.
Recommendation, buy now.
Exclusively serving portions of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, and Maryland.
I'm Sally Wiggin. A few weeks ago, Action News warned you about radon gas, a hidden killer that seeps into many homes. As a direct result of our reports, over 7,000 people tested their homes, and the first reports are in. While some of you have nothing to worry about, others do. Tonight at 11, we'll find out what the different levels mean to you and your family, and what action you should take if your home isn't in the safety level. Radon gas, the hidden killer, tonight on the 11 o'clock Channel 4 Action News.
I couldn't compliment these cute, cuddly creatures any more than if I were...
Miss Ellen, is it true we're part of your offbeat?
Well, I
don't understand. We're all normal goblins. Meet Ed, Slither, Pecker, Bellhead, and me. I'm Trouble.
Nice to meet you. It's a whole new world waiting for you at the Pittsburgh Children's Museum. See the Goblins of Labyrinth through April 26th.
And then we'll be gone.
Here at Fitzgerald Fieldhouse, Bill Hillgrove along with Ron Perry. The Panthers have a 7-point lead at halftime. Got it up to 10, but then Villanova cut it down to 5, and the Panthers came down. Didn't realize after the steal how much time was left. Demetrius Gore kind of got a little bit disoriented, then all of a sudden decided, well, I better throw it up for almost 30 feet. He missed it, and on the rebound try, the buzzer sounded.
I thought it was a good job by Villanova, the last 5 or 6 minutes of that first half to do a good job from the perimeter to get this deficit under 10 points down to 7. They've done a good job. Wilson, West, Jensen from the perimeter. Pitt has had an overwhelming advantage on the boards. Jerome Lane and Charles Smith, particularly Lane on the offensive end, and Mike Goodson has done a good job from the perimeter for Pittsburgh.
And I think what's happened, Ron, is the fact that Pitt has been able to stretch Villanova defensively. Inside, they've got to worry about Smith, who seems to be taking some liberties. They seem to have to worry about Jerome Lane, especially when he comes down to take that offensive rebound. But then Michael Goodson is doing a good job outside, and Villanova, I think, would rather pack everything in and try to cut the passing lanes down.
Yeah, that's right. And Mike Goodson did that early. He established an outside game for Pitt early on, and that did bring things out. When Villanova brings Pitt out, on the other hand, they really don't have the personnel to dump it down to, as Pittsburgh does with Charles Smith and Jerome Lane.
Goodson with 12 points. Harold Jensen has 11 for the Villanova Wildcats, who trail it by 7 at halftime. Right now, we have the opportunity to take a look at Villanova's academic All-American, Mr. Harold Jensen.
Was the meet's most outstanding diver. Please welcome.
It's not unusual to see Harold Jensen walking around the Villanova campus with books. He legitimately is that student athlete we hear so much about. You see, aside from being a preseason All-Big East selection, Harold Jensen is an academic All-American who spent his summer on Wall Street instead of a playground. Academics and athletics have gone hand in hand for Harold ever since high school, and he approaches the books in the same way he approaches a big game.
I think the pressures are very similar. Becoming an academic All-American was a really nice thing. It's helped my life, and I think it's made college a more worthwhile experience, not only on the court, but off the court. And I try and set goals for myself in the classroom, attaining a certain grade point average or doing well on exams. And I look at that just as I would a difficult game.
As a member of the Villanova Wildcats, Harold Jensen has had that special experience of playing on a national champion. When recalling the game, it takes on added significance in that Jensen was perfect that night shooting and proved to be the spark Villanova needed to carry them past Georgetown. It's been nearly 2 years now since that game, but it's still very fresh in Harold Jensen's mind.
I think we had a very comfortable feeling that night. We were loose. We were certainly a big underdog, yet we had played Georgetown close twice that year. So we were quietly confident, I guess you could say. And things that I remember are Jake Nevin, who was our trainer here for such a long time, Coach Masters' halftime talk, and things like that, throwing the ball in the last 2 seconds of the game to Dwayne McClain and just listening to him scream and realizing what we had done and accomplished were some of the things that come back to mind.
The thrill of winning a national championship speaks for itself. But now, in retrospect, Harold Jensen realizes the game was a turning point.
I think it's made me a more confident person, a more confident player. I felt when I came here that I could contribute, and I hadn't contributed quite that much up until then. And it made me feel good. It made me feel a part of Villanova, a part of the basketball program, and I think it's helped me considerably.
Look for Jensen. Here he is. They lead it. 3 seconds.
Harold Jensen's play over the last year and a half has shown he does indeed have the confidence to take Villanova's big shots. But Jensen is also well aware of the fact that someday the roar of the crowd is going to be nothing but a memory.
The air is going to come out. That's a friend of mine used to tell me the air is going to come out of the ball sooner or later, and you're going to have to put it down and move on to something else. And I think by coming to this university, it's given me the opportunity to broaden myself as far as academically, socially. And I think that when I do have to put the ball down, from what I've learned here, it's certainly going to help me to go on and hopefully become successful in something else.
Harold Jensen has 11 points at halftime. Harold Jensen has 6 points at halftime. Doug West has 11, but the Villanova Wildcats trail it by 7.
There's never been a better time to buy or lease a new Buick from your Better Buy Buick dealers, because now you can get up to $1,450 cash back on something even better than a new car, a new Buick. Get great Buick value, plus cash back on special factory-installed option packages. Buy or lease your next car from a wide variety of new Buicks and take actual retail delivery by April 30th. And get up to $1,450 cash back from your Better Buy Buick dealers, where value is not an option. It's a standard.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
1.
He's close.
2.
He's real, isn't he? He's real.
3. No! Ready or not, Freddy's back. A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 3. Dream Warriors, rated R.
Starts Friday at a theater near you.
There's something special cooking at Eden Park. Always has been.
Welcome to Boys Town. Sunday night, March 1st, St. Louis comes to town. Cap your weekend with Unicap Coach's Cap Night. The first 10,000 fans receive a Penn's Coach's Cap, courtesy of Unicap. Come on down to Boys Town for a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
I'm Sally Wiggin. A few weeks ago, Action News warned you about radon gas, a hidden killer that seeps into many homes. As a direct result of our reports, over 7,000 people tested their homes, and the first reports are in. While some of you have nothing to worry about, others do. Tonight at 11, we'll find out what the different levels mean to you and your family, and what action you should take if your home isn't in the safety level. Radon gas, the hidden killer, tonight on the 11 o'clock Channel 4 Action News.
The Panthers have a 7-point lead at halftime thanks to Michael Goodson's 12 first-half points. Charles Smith had 8 points for the Panthers, but 6 assists.
He played a lot of high post in the first half and did a good job dumping it down low, finding Lane a couple of times loose under the basket.
We're in the final week of Big East competition, preparatory to the tournament, which opens March 5th at Madison Square Garden. The Panthers tonight hoping to clinch at least a tie for the championship. Now, if the Panthers can win tonight and perhaps lose at St. John's on Saturday, then it's very possible that Georgetown will pull up into a tie with Pitt. And because of the 2 losses Pitt suffered to the Georgetown Hoyas, Georgetown would be seeded #1, but the 2 teams, if they tie, whether it's Georgetown and Pitt or Syracuse and Pitt or Syracuse and Georgetown, no matter who the two teams are, they would be declared co-champions, but the seeding would be based on the tiebreaker system.
That's right. The easiest thing for most lay people to do is just wait for the final records to come out so you can follow where everyone falls, but Pitt certainly does sit very well right now. Villanova in the middle of the pack is jockeying for position, but a lot of things can happen down the stretch, and everyone's got a life when you get to the Big East tournament.
If Villanova could pull off the win tonight and then win against, Providence on Monday, which is the last game of the Big East regular season, they're hoping for an NCAA bid, which would mean the Big East would go 6 deep in the tournament, something that most aficionados are saying that the Big Ten will do, but the Big East may not stand that same chance.
A lot of the people that made predictions before the season talked about evenness and equality in the league this year, and we've really seen it.
And for sure, Connecticut and Boston College will play off that first game on the 5th for the right to meet the #1 seeded team, which is like asking someone to hit you over the head with a hammer, but certainly that's the way the tournament stacked up. 1 against 8, 2 against 7, 3 against 6, and 4 against 5. This weekend, always interesting action. Villanova had a lead on Seton Hall of 14 points, but Seton Hall came back and defeated them by 1. And for P.J. Carlesimo, another big win. He has this one plus 2 wins over Georgetown this year.
Well, he's brought that team along. He still plays without that senior leadership. They've lost some close ones. Pitt continued to roll with a win over Connecticut after losing the tough Georgetown ball game.
Pittsburgh against Connecticut, a 10-point winner, and nobody's playing better right now, not only in the Big East, but probably in the country than that team right there. Georgetown defeating Syracuse, an 18-point run by the Hoyas.
Oh, and amazingly, in the win over Pittsburgh, they had a 20-point run, and I think you have to credit John Thompson in the use of all the players that he brings in and the relentless defense.
In the Big East, the Dodge Player of the Week. And there he is.
Perry McDonald.
Georgetown Hoyas. He's not only a great 6'4" player, but he's also a boxer, and he's a tough kid. And tell you what, for 6'4", he posts up as well as anybody.
I think that boxing background helps him out because he does a lot of his damage down low. And the freshman of the week, Derek Coleman, certainly a great addition to Jim Boeheim's front line. He has really teamed up very effectively with Ronnie Cycli down low.
The Panthers here lead it by 7. We'll be ready for the start of the second half, and we'll have some halftime stats in a moment.
Investing these days is a little like you playing tennis against Jimmy Connors. You're going to need all the professional help you can get. Payne Weber's capital management team is ready to provide that help right now. Because whether you run a company or invest in one, Payne Weber believes the quality of life just might depend on the quality of your financial services.
Hey, great match. Nice, Jimmy. Thank you, Payne Weber. Next time I'm with those guys on my team, okay?
Something about the night when the stars come out to play. The feeling, it's so right. It's my favorite time of the day. So give me the night. Give me the night. Give me an icy light. Oh, give me the night. Give me the night. Give me an icy light. Clear, refreshing, and bright. The choice that's always right. So give me the night. Give me the night. Give me an icy light.
Run! Oh, we're back. It's a Volkswagen Wagon 39. I'm as fresh as ever. Okay. Excuse me, please. Hello?
Your Volkswagen dealer won't rest when he's got factory air at no charge on select Golfs and Jettas.
Yes, Silver Jetta? You got it. Yes, you got a deal. What would you like? Huh? Red GTI? Sold. Remember, folks, as long as I am up, you got a deal. Okay? Get some coffee in here, will you? Decaf? Get Ted in here.
Ronnie's still up, and the deals are still on at your Volkswagen dealer.
In a city full of sports, one team covers the best. Channel 4's Front Four. You'll get the scores from people who not only talk a good game,
I want to see if I can still get the job,
but are really into the game. They'll bring you close to the action where you can feel the pressure, see the sweat. And when the game's over and the hard questions begin, the Front Four really goes to work. For a little lift or a big win, wherever sports happens, the Front Four will be there.
Action news is everywhere.
Big East basketball is brought to you by Piedmont, serving more cities in the East than any other airline. By Chrysler Motors, the official car and truck of the Big East, and your local Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge dealers. By Avis Rent-A-Car, the official rental car of the Big East Conference. And by the financial professionals at Payne Weber. Both teams back on the court. Panthers with a 7-point halftime lead. Pitt with a slightly better shooting percentage in that first half, but the Panthers dominated the boards, as you see the stats. And the biggest telling tale is not at the top of the page, it's at the bottom of the page. 21-9 rebounds.
That's clearly the big difference in the first half, but Villanova has to be happy despite the fact that they were out-rebounded that badly, and Pittsburgh with an 8-2 offensive rebound advantage are hanging close in this game. Villanova shooting better from the free throw line. They have made double the amount of three-point shots and could go to it more in the second half, and Harold Jensen's the kind of guy that can get hot in a hurry and really erupt for Villanova.
Doug West in double figures for the Cats. Kenny Wilson right behind with 9. Harold Jensen held to 6 first half points. Jensen averaging 14.2, so he's slightly below his average. And now the Panthers, Goodson with the 12 points. But in addition to Smith's 8 points, Charles Smith also had 6 assists. And at halftime, Dave Gavitt, who's the commissioner of the Big East and also an official with amateur basketball, presenting Charles Smith with his ring for his contribution in leading the U.S. team in its gold medal quest over in Spain last summer in those basketball world championships. Quite an effort by Charles Smith.
That was a nice scene right there with the commissioner giving that ring to Charles Smith, and it's something that Charles will always remember. Really became nationally acclaimed with his performance in those games, and the ring will help him to remember.
If it hadn't been for Danny Manning's injury, Smith would not have had the opportunity to go over there.
It's really ironic how you can get your opportunity as a player. The key thing once you get the opportunity is to take advantage of it, and Charles did certainly that kind of thing this summer.
Because of his play over there, the NBA scouts have taken notice, and one scout has told this goes West over Grice, and Doug West gets the points to cut it to 39-34. One scout said that Charles Smith could be the second player drafted if he decides to come out this year, which Pitt fans are hoping he doesn't.
He's got all the tools, and I can understand why the Pitt players want to keep him around.
Charles Smith answers at the other end, and it's 41-34. Smith with 10 points.
Mr. Versatility, he likes that forward position. He's playing with his really face to the basket more than his back in this game. Shows that he's got the good touch as well as the good passing ability that you had mentioned.
Villanova trying to get the Panthers' zone to collapse. Kenny Wilson straight away. Kenny Wilson from 19 feet, and it's 41-36.
Wilson playing an excellent floor game. The floor general taking what the defense gives him. Pitt staying with the 2-3, and it was wide open in the middle, and he nailed it.
Wilson in double figures with 11 points now. Brookin open from three-point range. 2 Villanova players collide, and Jerome gets his 12th rebound.
Nice pass.
And Charles Smith steps into the power jam. Thank you, Rod Brookin.
Great look by Brookin to set up Smith for that shot. That's really the poise of the freshman.
43-36. The Panthers again by 7, which is what it was at halftime. West tried to go around Brookin, and Raleigh Massimino does not like the call by Roger Paramore.
I didn't think he walked on that play. He held his left foot down, faked with his right. It's the crossover move without putting the ball down. Raleigh may have had a case as Villanova drops back to the 1-3-1 zone.
Smith almost a steal by Wilson, and Gore may have gotten away with a push there. Demetrius Gore gets the foul at the other end. And if it's on Grice, it'll be his 4th. Let's await the call from Roger Paramore. The basket is good. The foul on Grice is indeed his 4th.
I'm not so sure they're not saying good basket on that play, and then the contact by Gore. So it would be a common foul on Gore after the basket, Villanova ball.
You're exactly right. There'll be no three-point try. Good call, Ronnie Perry. The 33, in this case, belongs to the team with the white shirts, and that's Demetrius Gore. So scratch Grice on the 4th. Give Demetrius Gore his 2nd personal foul. And the Panthers have a 9-point lead.
Very important for Villanova to keep the pace of this game into a half-court style game, chip away with the lead, and really play aggressive ball early in the second half.
Baker in a trap, comes out of there with the ball. Hook shot, no. Rebound, Lane, his 13th. And the Panthers have a 9-point lead and a chance to put it into double figures for a second time. 17 and a half minutes remaining.
Pitt's a team that averages over 80 points a game, but they've only scored over 80 once in their last 7 games.
Lane had a little trouble getting that ball into his hands, but once he did, he put it up and in, and Beckedam will come in on the next buzzer for Philadelphia, for the Villanova Wildcats, who come in from Philadelphia and beat a snowstorm by being here tonight. Jensen. Jensen again. Harold Jensen.
He did that with a good quick move. He just out-quicked the big people for Pitt that time and laid it in with his left. Good follow.
8 points for Jensen. Villanova trails at 47-38. Goodson missing, Lane following, and Lane getting the foul on the play. So he'll shoot 2, and let's see which Villanova player is guilty. It's on Mark Plansky, his second personal foul, the 6'7" junior from Wakefield, Massachusetts.
Look at that battle on the weak side. Plansky just gets himself under the basket. May have had a little bit of help from Lane, but Lane always battling on the weak side as a nose for the ball and draws another foul, as well as collects another offensive rebound.
Jerome Lane getting some good touch on the ball, came in shooting 65% from the line. That's his first of 3 attempts that was successful tonight. Now he's 2 for 4.
He had 11.
Go ahead.
Had 11 rebounds at the half, so with that one, he's up to a dozen already. 8 of them offensive boards.
I've got him for 13.
I think I've got 15 Bs up there, so you're probably right in the middle.
14 is what they had. And that was
nice rainbow by Grice with the right hand, got it down low. The big 7'2" guy used his body well right there.
49-40, Panther lead is cut to 9. That was 11 twice in the last minute or so. Brooken. Rod Brooken rips the cord.
A little bit deeper. A couple of weeks ago against Boston College, with time running out in first overtime, Brooken nailed the 3-point shot to send it into double OT, and it eventually led to a Pitt win.
Grice, but a good follow by Beckedam. Barry Beckedam, the 6'10" freshman from Prescott, Ontario. And it's 51-42.
Beckedam, a parade in McDonald's All-American last year.
Mike Goodson shoots the 3-pointer from straight away. And let's see what is called here. A little timeout to get people into the game. Tico Cooper for Pitt, Gary Massey for Villanova, but they'll call it down for a TV timeout. Panthers already in the 50s, lead it by their biggest margin, a dozen.
Based on letters received at the Department of Transportation, the airline with one of the lowest passenger complaint records is Piedmont. In a recent poll, the airline rated highest in service was Piedmont. And in another poll, Piedmont service came in second, although it wasn't even listed on the ballot, which suggests the greatest service Piedmont performs, serving as role model for all the other airlines. Piedmont, a model of how good an airline can be.
He's gonna love it.
As long as we're not late for the meeting.
This is gonna whiz us right there.
Avis, we got a red hot express. We got a red hot crew. We got a red hot crew. We got super value rates. We try harder too. Avis, we're red hot for you.
I love it. But what's it gonna cost?
Don't worry, we'll give you its super value rate.
Avis, red hot.
The Panthers have 54 points, and with 15:52 left, it's something that Raleigh Massimino did not want to happen, and that's the fact that Pitt already having 54 points, and Raleigh feels that if he can keep it under that magic number of 69, that his team can win a basketball game, and the stats back him up on that. I think he's won something like 120 ball games. 116, is it, to 21?
Since Big East play, 116 wins, 21 losses when Villanova's been able to keep their opponent under 69 points. And starting this second half, Pitt has dictated the tempo of the game, and they've really started to pick up the pace. Raleigh Massimino in that timeout was saying, you've got to defend someone more aggressively, take the high percentage shots offensively. We've got to chip our way back into this thing.
Wilson from 3-point range. Yes. Kenny Wilson trying to get the Cats back quickly, and it's 54-45.
Rowley calls for the 5 defense, and it looks like a 1-3-1 set by the Cats. They'll look to trap out of the corners.
Wilson has 14.
That's
Gore walked around Beckedam, and the Panthers turn it over, leading by 9 at 15-18 remaining.
Demetrius seems to be talking to himself, hesitating, not letting the natural flow of things take over for him the way he normally does it.
Panthers in the first half had 3 steals to Villanova's 1. Each team had 5 turnovers, which is a low number for 2 teams, 10 or less in one half. Massey with a fine move inside. Cooper with a rebound. And the Panthers had to slow it up as Villanova dropped back quickly. Mike Goodson, the sophomore from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Great pass to Tico Cooper, and he's hammered in there. And if Grice gets the foul, it'll be his 4th. Let's see if they give it to Beckenham instead.
I believe it's Grice with the first contact.
You're exactly right on Perry, and that's number 4 on Tom Grice, the freshman, who hails from Huntington, New York.
That's the presence of Charles Smith on the floor, attracting defensive people. Goodson had the ball, initially might have had Smith inside, but kept the ball because he wasn't sure, and eventually it opened up inside for Jerome Lane as the crowd went Smith's way.
Harold Jensen, after arrest, will check back in. He'll take the place of Barry Beckenham, and here comes Lane to the line, where Lane is now 2 in a row after missing his first 2, so he's got 8 points. Having a little difficulty, the shot wouldn't go. He'll get another. (55-45), the Panthers by 10.
Pitt really not extending their defense in this game. Paul Evans only has a limited bench that he can really go to. He had good minutes from Kavanaugh in the first half. Cooper's out there right now giving him some board work, but he doesn't really want to play man-to-man, get into foul trouble, or extend the defense too much to expose any weaknesses inside.
West penetrating. Yes. Doug West. Field goal number 4 or 5 on the evening. The 6. He's got 15 points.
1-3-1 extended now by Villanova.
Smith has the ball knocked away, and Villanova comes up with it. No! Lane with the long arms. Threw it up for Charles Smith, but Charles was off balance, so he had to pull it out of there. I know what Lane wanted. He wanted alley-oop jam that time and didn't get it. Cooper can't get the banking hook to go, and West clears the boards for Villanova. Villanova has cut it to 8. Wilson around Goodson. Massey decides the better of it. On the baseline, it is West. And the ball goes out to Villanova as the Panthers touched it out.
That's the Pitt height advantage taking over. 3 or 4 Villanova players were setting to shoot that time. And with the quickness and long arm span and height that Pitt has, they kept getting in the way of the shooting lane. And eventually the shot gets blocked by Charles Smith from behind, but it goes out of bounds.
Villanova where the key is. Charles Smith on the season has blocked 93 shots coming into this game. The 3-pointer's up and good. The bench goes crazy, and finally they call it a 3-pointer. 55-50. Villanova down by 5.
Good comeback by Villanova, and they're doing it with more aggressive defense.
And they call a charging foul in underneath on the Panthers. And Villanova will have the basketball.
Tico Cooper called for clearing out with his left arm. Let's see if he really does it here. I think that could have been a good no call. He gets called for the elbow that time. I really didn't think there was enough contact to warrant it.
Villanova down by 5, 13-10 remaining. Wilson from 3-point range. Lane had the rebound knocked away. Lane knocked it out of bounds.
Villanova has to get Doug West a little bit more involved in the offense along with Harold Jensen. Wilson's the guy that can free them up.
Jensen wanted to get the easy one to Plansky, but the Panthers got there. So Villanova comes outside, and Wilson goes on the attack. Villanova trying to cut back into the lead. They've done a good job taking it from 12 to 5. West walked, and he did something that you don't want to see a young man do, and that's the fact that he started to give the head fake. And you can't do anything with your head. You got to do it with your hands and your feet in the basketball.
You want to give it maybe a good head and shoulder fake, but not get it going so much that you move your feet in the process, and that's what West did.
And the ball is knocked out by Villanova. Pitt will key it into the baseline. 12:48 remaining. Pitt is in the lead by 5, 55-50. Each team has 2 fouls so far in the second half. Now off the ball is pushing and shoving, and apparently Gary Massey.
He was really mixing it up with Charles Smith. He was doing a bit of a cameo job under there, jarring. He's a tough kid. He's about 6'4", going up against the 6'11" Smith. Eventually, he got called for the push down low.
Massey's from the Bronx, so he's been in that situation before. Charles Smith from Bridgeport, Connecticut, he's been there. Anybody who's played on the playground has been there. No blood, no foul. Right?
That's right.
Rod Brooken, three-pointer, 58-50.
Adds another dimension to Brooken's game where he can go inside and rebound, but he's got excellent range, particularly from the corners.
Kavanaugh for reaching in. And that's a floor foul by the Panthers. For Pat Kavanaugh, the freshman from Grove City, his second. Team fouls now even at 3 apiece here, second half. 12:20 left. Villanova will key it in.
Villanova has had a number of tough, close losses this year. They seemingly have been in almost all of their Big East games with the exception of a Providence game as Jensen connects from three-point land, but they've had a lot of tough, close defeats.
And the Panthers throw the ball away. They threw it up for Mike Goodson. He did not see it coming. And the Panther guards were not on the same page, and Pitt turns it over. Now Gore comes back in, and Brooken sits down. Villanova has cut it to 5 and can make it even closer here with 12:12 remaining.
Villanova has been very stubborn. They won't let Pitt pull away in this thing, and that's a mental mistake by Pittsburgh.
Panthers trying to steal Canoff. Nice screen on the previous basket by Jensen, by the way, by Mark Plansky.
Now, Plansky's a headsy player. He's only got 2 points in this game. He's capable of 20-plus points as he did against Georgetown, where he had 22 points, 8 rebounds. He's a blue-collar player, though. He just works hard underneath.
Wilson around Kavanaugh. And a reach in by the Panthers.
Don Kavanaugh again. Wilson a little bit too quick for him. That's his third personal. He needs to just get position with his feet in front of Wilson and get help out from Goodson and not reach in.
Panthers now with 4 team fouls, and Kavanaugh has committed his third. Doug West, meantime, has 5 turnovers. Panthers lead by 5. We'll be back.
Run! Oh, we're back. It's a Volkswagen Wagathon, and I am as fresh as ever, okay? Excuse me, please. Hello?
Your Volkswagen dealer won't rest when he's got factory air at no charge on select Golfs and Jettas.
Yes, Silver Jetta, you got it. Yes, you got a deal. What would you like? Huh? Red GTI? Sold. Remember, folks, as long as I am up, you got a deal, okay? Get some coffee in here, will you? Decaf? Get Ted in here.
Ronnie's still up, and the deals are still on at your Volkswagen dealer.
My, Wile E. Coyote's using the Donnelly directory again. It's a complete, colorful yellow pages that's better and easier to use. Oh, no. Ah, the Donnelly directory with street maps, white pages, and entertainment guides. It's a better yellow pages. Saved again. The Donnelly directory. It's the yellow pages and much, much more.
Panthers are 23 of 43 from the floor tonight. Villanova 21 of 41. The rebounds, Pitt has the big edge, 25 to 12.
Well, that's a major rebounding advantage, but Villanova is keeping themselves in the game with their perimeter shooting, and they can heat up from three-point land, as Harold Jensen has showed us.
Panthers have scored 4 points in about 4 minutes here, so Villanova has slowed the Panthers down. Jensen missing. Fine tip up over everybody by...
Looks like Massey getting up over everyone.
Wow.
Boy, did he get up.
And it's 58-55.
1-3-1 has been a very effective defensive adjustment by Rolly Massimino. Pitt has to penetrate against it. Good pass.
Great pass by Kavanaugh, and Lane can't get it to go. He'll shoot 2.
Pitt did a good job of swinging the ball that time, which they haven't been doing against the 1-3-1. Kavanaugh had the lane, but elected to throw the rifle pass inside to Jerome Lane.
Plansky's foul is his third. Team foul number 4 for Villanova. Lane will shoot 2 here at the 11:36 mark. And he doesn't get the roll in the first.
Took that one time quickly. He needs to settle himself down into a routine, get comfortable and relax.
He's 3 for 7.
He's pushing the ball right now. He's talking to himself.
Villanova with a chance now to tie with a three-pointer. Massey around Smith. Whistle on the play. What do they call in there? A foul on the reach in. And no, they call an offense. 3 seconds. is the call. Villanova stayed in the lane too long.
That play really took a long time to develop with Massey under the basket. Plansky was trying to get position. They were just in that paint area too long. Only allowed 3 seconds.
Panthers ahead by 3. So Villanova had a chance to tie it. Charles Smith on a great pass from Kavanaugh. Smith climbed the ladder and scored. Charles Smith now 14 points, and the Panthers lead it by 5.
In case you're just joining us, Curtis Aiken, Klein #2 guard, averaging just under 16 a game, out of the game for Pittsburgh with a concussion he suffered against Georgetown.
Plansky with a 2-pointer, 60-57. Plansky in the game, 4 points. Tempo is up now. Oh, and Jerome Lane fell down off the ball, and they say Massey pushed him down. Massey assisted on the play.
And you don't see Gary arguing on that call. A lot of action down low, really battling for position. And there it is, the clear out, and Lane goes down.
Panthers with kid, and that's 5 team fouls for Villanova, 4 for the Panthers. Massey has 3.
That's where the 3 officials helps out to be able to see those fouls away from the ball.
3-pointer by Mike Goodson, and the Panthers lead it by 6, 63-57. For Mike Goodson in the basketball game, 18 points, including 4 3-pointers.
Villanova does everything right defensively that time, but Goodson's showing he's got excellent range.
Kenny Wilson, fine ball handler. 3-pointer by West. Nice rebound, Massey. Fell down, traveled. Tom Grice will check into the lineup for Villanova. Massey will get a break. 10:21 remaining. Pitt by 6.
Massey really worked. He made things happen. He was either committing fouls, falling on the floor for loose balls. Played very aggressively while he was out there. Not a good pass by Gore. Bounced it right at Smith's feet as it goes out of bounds.
Had trouble reacting to that ball. He couldn't get his hands down.
He had him. I think there was a semi-bounce pass, though, Bill, and the ball bounced down near his feet. So it was a tough one for a 6'11 guy to catch.
Villanova at the 10-minute mark. Working. Jensen. West. Wilson. Gore with a steal. Gore is fouled by Wilson, and the Villanova bench thought they saw a double dribble in front of us. And guess what? We thought we saw one too. A lot of times, though, they'll be very liberal in a steal situation in giving the start of the dribble.
Getting control of the ball, that's right, and putting it to the floor. As you look at Rolly Massimino's reaction to that play. The big thing that Villanova can't afford is to not get a good shooting opportunity and to minimize mistakes when they bring it down court. You could hear Rolly that time. He wants to double dribble on that play.
Demetrius Gore makes the first, he'll get the second. Villanova with 16 fouls now. Pitt leads at 64-57.
Demetrius, a 76% free throw shooter. He's always been very good from that charity stripe. Look for Jensen or West. They're the money players. They're the people that can hit that big perimeter shot for you.
9 minutes, 34 seconds. Villanova trailing by 8 points. Had cut it to 3 and got the ball and then turned it over on a 3-second call. West. Whistle on the play. A reach-in foul by Gore. 3 for Gore. For Pitt, Lane, Gore, and Kavanaugh all have 3. For Villanova, Grice has 4. Massey and Plansky each have 3 personal fouls. That's team foul number 5 for Pitt. Last touch by Pitt. The ball belongs to the Wildcats at 9:23.
Try to just loft it up to the big 7'2" Tom Grice, but Jerome Lane up there. Excellent leaper.
Plansky with a fine attempt. Smith cleared out of there with a monster rebound. Goodson for Gore, and it's up in the cheap seats.
Gigantic rebound by Charles Smith, but Pitt unable to capitalize. You need to cash in after you force a turnover.
Turnovers now 10 apiece.
Hasn't been a lot of defensive pressure. Villanova, surprisingly, is extending their defense more than Pitt is.
A quick Wilson with a rainbow over Charles Smith.
Nice soft touch. He reads the defense well. He knows when to take that shot, when to dish it off that time. He knew he had the opportunity to lay it in.
16 points for sophomore Kenny Wilson for the Wildcats. West has 15 for the Cats. Kavanaugh, low post to Smith. Panthers restart at 8:33 on the game clock, 25 on the shot clock. Pitt leading by 6. Smith reverse on Grice, and Grice fouls out at 8:27.
Now Villanova shifted to a man-to-man set that time, and Grice was playing behind Smith with the 4 personals. Look at this quick move by Charles Smith. Little drop step, and he's got the advantage on Tom Grice. Got him by a step, a body length. Finishes off, and he's strong enough to score and get fouled on the play. And you can see Grice's reaction along with Smith. He's pretty pumped up. Tom Grice got his hands up in the air, said, I didn't foul him on that play.
Grice finishes with 4 points, 2 in each half for the freshman from Huntington, New York. Smith with a 3-point try to put the Panthers 9 points in. Nope. Maker with a rebound, and he's in there for Grice. And Villanova down by 8. Still with a chance. A lot of time left. 8:23. Massey, the Panthers let him relatively unattended deep in the corner. Pitt in a zone now. Looks like a 1-2-2.
1-2-2, 3-2. Once the ball goes to the wing, though, it shifts to a 2-3.
Villanova working the ball around very well. Plansky is fouled on the play by Smith, who picks up his second personal foul.
For the most part in this game, with the big 6'11" Smith down low and Jerome Lane, Tico Cooper when he's been in there, they've been able to neutralize the front court game of Villanova and keep Villanova on the perimeter.
Panthers are in the bonus. Villanova is 1 foul away from the bonus at 8:03, so they'll tee it in. Massey had a screen from Maker, but he's too deep, so back to Wilson it goes.
Under 8 minutes to go. Villanova needs to start making their surge.
Air ball. Gore tipped it to Smith, and the Panthers have it with an 8-point lead. Kavanaugh with Wilson. Wide open. Goodson from 3-point. Great rebound, Gore. Maker on the foul, and Gore will shoot 2.
That's where Pittsburgh is winning this ball game with second and third efforts. Their best offense in this one has been to shoot it up and just bang the boards. And did Gore ever get up on this one? Way up there, and he gets fouled with the body by Wyatt Maker.
He's 6 feet 5.5 inches tall. That's what the press guide says.
6'5.5".
You stand next to him, he's probably a skosh under 6'5".
But he can really spring up there.
Jensen back in, Massey out for Villanova. 7:38 remaining. The Panthers by 8. And Gore, who's 4 for 4 for 10 points, with a chance to extend the lead.
All I know is when I'm next to Demetrius Gore, I'm looking up at him. Whether or not he's 6'5" or a touch under. When he jumps like that, he'll probably jump right over me.
I look up to every basketball player. I think even Scott Colombo, the Pitt walk-on, who's 5'8", may be taller than I am.
He'll post you up if he gets a chance.
Panthers have that 10-point lead again, and they had to work hard for it. 7:38 remaining. It's not over yet.
There's something special cooking at Eden Park. Always has been.
The Alabama International Motor Speedway at Talladega. 3 standard production stops. It's probably pretty unlikely you'll ever need a car that can go 132 miles per hour, day and night, for 62,000 miles straight. But just in case you do, there's only one that's ever done it. The Saab 9000.
For details and a test drive in the Saab 9000, visit one of your greater Pittsburgh area Saab dealers.
The Plymouth player of the game will be selected at the conclusion of this game and during every game televised by the Big East Conference Television Network as part of the Chrysler Corporation sponsorship of Big East basketball. If you're going to speculate, you look at Villanova and say either perhaps Doug West, Harold Jensen, or Kenny Wilson. For the Panthers, Mike Goodson, Charles Smith, as always, is a candidate for player of the game. And I think in this case, you almost have to look at Demetrius Gore, who's into double figures now, Ron, with 12 points. He hasn't had double figures since the Providence game, and that's back a while ago.
That's for sure. He's played very well in this one, and Jerome Lane with 14 boards.
Harold Jensen gives Villanova its 61st point. Jensen now in the basketball game, a total of 15 points. Maker at the other end wreaking havoc defensively. Now Gore thinks about going after Maker and then says, well, wait a minute. 6'10 and 250.
Think twice on that one.
I'm a scotch under 6'5 and I don't weigh near that much. I think I'll just walk out.
Villanova rolled the dice here. Goes to the full court pressure. They know they have to make the comeback. Lane can't get the jam. Gore goes for the follow-up here. Bangs into Wyatt Maker, and that's where they had a little bit of a square off, but nothing serious.
A much better release by Jerome Lane that time.
Better concentration, and his motion seemed much more fluid that time.
Lane, in addition to his 11 points, has 14 rebounds unofficially. And the Panthers extend the lead again to 10, 71-60.
Another double-double for Jerome Lane.
One of these days he's going to get a triple-double.
They stay with the 3-2 zone defense, forcing Nova to the perimeter. Look for Jensen and West.
Maker on the low post. Jensen with Smith on it. Back to Maker. Good pass. Good score. Way to set up the offense. Way to get the defense to collapse.
The old give-and-go play. Maker to Jensen. Back into Maker, and he got that much closer to the goal.
Pat Cavanaugh has it belted away by Jensen. The ball belongs to Pitt at 6:49. The Panthers leading by 8. Pitt is in the bonus. Villanova one foul away from getting into that same bonus situation.
Another interesting perspective on this game. Pitt has led at halftime in 11 of their last 12 games. And again, in this one, they're ahead. They really seem to have a notion that they can win ball games this year, which they've really indicated. They've won the close ones. They believe in themselves, and they're making it difficult for Nova from behind.
Lane, one to go up with a jam, and they call a blocking foul against Villanova, and Doug West puts his hands on his head, I should say, as Plansky is called for the foul. Doug didn't like the call.
You can see the move here. Let's see if Plansky slides under. He does after Lane leaves the floor.
If Plansky had stayed even with the left hoop as we look at it, I think there had been no call. But he moved in underneath to try to force Lane away from the basket. Naturally, that's where the block came in.
That's exactly right. Had he not gotten over there, Lane would have had a thunderous jam, so at least he forced Lane to the line where he's already missed his first foul, so it worked for Plansky.
Lane not having a good night at the line tonight. I believe he's about 50-50. He's been to the line now a total of 12 times, and he is 6 for 12.
Look for Nova to put full court pressure on if they can connect. Here it is.
Well, Jensen now with 17 points. And now we got a foul in the backcourt by Villanova. Wilson, I believe, impeded the path of Goodson.
Reed's got him right around the waist. We got a one-on-one.
And this will be a one-on-one shooting situation for Pitt at 6:25.
What this is going to come down to is Pitt's accuracy from the foul line. Villanova will go to their full court pressure when they can make the field goal, force Pittsburgh to make the one-on-ones. If they miss, that'll give Villanova the opportunity to climb back into this thing. It's only 7 points.
Pat Cavanaugh, 69% foul shooter this year in his limited number of minutes in Big East action. There you see his figures, freshman from Grove City.
Done a great job in this game. He's only taken 13 free throws coming into this game.
A walk-on quarterback for Mike Godfrey. Did not appear in any Pitt football games this year, but certainly traveled and dressed.
I think that what that shows you is he's an athlete. Plays the football, walks onto the basketball team, makes a contribution because he's an athlete.
How big is the step from Grove City to the Big East?
That's quite a big step.
Jumper good by Doug West. And it's 74-67. Villanova cuts it to 7 at 6:10 remaining. West with 17 points.
Calling for their 5 defense, which is the 1-3-1 half-court traps, which had bothered Pittsburgh before. Pitt needs the penetration against this defense.
Gore behind the screen by Lane. Smith with a rebound. Charles Smith, and it's 76-67 at 5:54. Smith now 18 points for the Panthers.
Story of this game, offensive rebounding, Pittsburgh style.
Three-pointer missed by Jensen, cleared by Smith, and Pitt in its transition game. Lane. And a foul on the play.
Oh, he went for a left-handed jam that time. And Paul Evans is going to tell him to just score on that one.
And I think
very emphatically tell him to score on that one. and not go for the left-handed jam. He wanted a power move here. Watch Charles Smith just clear out this rebound. Scoops it with the right arm, sets up the fast break. Kavanaugh playing a very good floor game, and Jerome Lane, instead of power moving it in, tries to send it down with his left hand.
Lane is now 6 for 13 at the line as he misses. He'll get another at the 5:36 mark.
So important to make that first one when you've got to.
Jerome is still 50-50. That's not good enough in college basketball. Should be 70% or more to contribute to the team effort. And now off the ball, a foul. And a defensive foul by Pitt. Smith has his third personal. Massey checks into the lineup. Maker gets arrested for Villanova. Pitt leading by 10 here at 5:27. That will send Villanova into the bonus at 5 minutes and 27 seconds remaining.
Mark Plansky from Wakefield, Mass at the line. The junior forward leads the team in rebounding, 6.1 a game. He's shooting 80% from the foul line.
Very, very nice form at the line. Gets up on his toes, releases the ball with his fingertips. 77-68. Smith has to go off balance, but with those long arms is able to pull in another rebound.
Reading in the media guide that he was timed in the 40 in 4.55. What a great athlete Smith is.
That's unbelievable. That's just unbelievable. A man his size to be able to run a 4.55.
40-yard dash.
There are many running backs in the National Football League who can't turn a 4.55.
Play cornerback with that speed.
Charging foul Lane. He knocked over Gary Massey, and Paul Evans not real pleased with a call by Roger Paramore of West Carrollton, Ohio, who is also a football official and I guess is accustomed to seeing contact.
Here it is. Let's see if he creates the contact. I think that's a good call. Massey was standing holding position, and Jerome really did jump into him that time.
For Lane now, his fourth personal foul. Steal by Gore, but he can't keep it under control, and the ball goes right back to Villanova at 5:04, with Villanova trailing this contest by 9 points.
See, you won't see Wilson do that too often. Throw up a prayer to the wing after he left his feet.
And the three-pointer by Harold Jensen's good, and it's 77-71. Villanova trying to launch a comeback now. Jensen in the ball game, 20 points, and the Panthers turn it over at the other end at 4:53 remaining.
That's where the backcourt people have to take charge. Under 5 minutes to go in the game. The clock is much more valuable with a 6-point lead than the quick hoop underneath.
Panthers in that zone defense.
Pitt has to find Jensen. He's got the hot hand.
Michael Goodson paying attention to him. They get a pick, and Kavanaugh switches off.
Here he is again.
Jensen is deadly, and it's 77-74.
What a job by Jensen, single-handedly taking charge. 2 3-pointers in a row.
And that one, he was going to his left as he released the basketball.
This is where Goodson really has to take charge of his club. He's a sophomore, but he's been through the wars for the Big East.
Demetrius Gore with a head fake. West gets there. Goodson. Kavanaugh. Open is Lane. Shot score by Jerome Lane.
The difference that time for Jerome is he went up strong with the power move, and it might be the little message that the coach had for him last time he tried to jam it down.
Lane with 15 points, and the Panthers lead by 5. Whistle on the play, and a foul on Smith is his fourth personal foul.
He was leaning. He has a serious height advantage, 6 inches, a half a foot on Gary Massey. He's leaning on his back, though. Needs to just hold his position with his arms up.
Rod Brooken checks back into the Panther lineup as Kavanaugh checks out. And now Tico Cooper will come in for Charles Smith at the 3:51 mark. Pitt leading by 5, but Massey going to the line for Villanova. Massey, a 73% foul shooter. 2 points in this game, has not been to the line as yet tonight.
Villanova has not folded in this game, and this is a big run they're making with under 4 to go.
Missed the 1-and-1. Rebound Cooper, and the Panthers have the basketball in the 5-point lead.
It's a big miss by Massey. They could have brought this thing to 3 points.
Cooper. Lane. Lane again. Lane is fouled.
Unbelievable effort once again by Jerome Lane, coming off a 21-rebound effort against Connecticut. He's been a man on the boards in this game, just grabbing everything. He gets 2 more offensive rebounds here, or at least 1, I should say, then draws the foul.
21 rebounds is 2 shy of the Big East record held by Danny Shades.
And he's going to smash the Big East rebounding record rebounds per game this year with better than 13 rebounds in contests.
And he does Villanova a big favor by missing the first of the two-shot foul. He'll get another here. Pitt with a 5-point lead. Lane trying to make it 6. Lane getting the second in. It's 80-74. And we'll have a stoppage of play. Jerome Lane at the line tonight has been there 16 times. Has made 8. The Panthers by 6.
Let me just run that through the computer for you, sir. Hey, you know I was all set to go tarpon fishing in Tampa, but no. Piedmont starts offering these incredibly low fares, and the next thing you know, they need extra help in reservations. Now, to take advantage of these incredibly low fares, you have to buy your tickets in advance. And I'm telling you, these planes are filling up fast, so you better call Piedmont or your travel agent today. Yes, sir. You just got the last seat on that flight to Tampa. That could have been my seat.
This one of them Japanese imports?
Hi, Colt Premier.
Mitsubishi-built Colt Premier. It's fun to drive.
Oh, Tomashina.
Has the boost of optional turbo.
Sugoi turbo da.
It's luxurious. And imported only for Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge dealers. Colt.
Sayonara.
It's all the Japanese you need to know.
Is that Japanese?
It's Tokyo in Japan.
Huh?
Panthers hold onto a 6-point lead, but there's a lot of time left. 3:35. Harold Jensen made 2 big three-pointers in a row as the Panthers had extended the lead to 79 to 68. But then Villanova came right back with the 3-pointers, and Massey had a chance to cut it even closer, but the Panthers now lead it by 6.
Little token pressure by Mike Goodson. Pitt has stayed with their 2-3 zone the bulk of this game, showing a little 3-2. Right now they're coming out, though. It looks like they're playing a diamond-and-one defense, matching up with the hot shooting Harold Jensen.
They'll try to deny him the basketball.
That's right. Mike Goodson is on him all over the court. The rest of the Pitt team in his zone.
And Wilson steps, launching a drive.
Nice adjustment by Paul Evans. Harold Jensen with 24 points in the game had just hit 2 3-pointers. Look for Villanova to counter that with a couple of screens for Jensen.
Rebound stats, unbelievable.
Wow.
41, Villanova 20. Lane has 15 of the 41.
And in the first contest, Villanova actually out-rebounded Pittsburgh, one of the only 2 Big East teams to do that this year.
3 minutes, 3 seconds left. Pitt by 6.
Pitt working the clock against the zone.
Both teams in the bonus. Each team has its full complement of 4 timeouts remaining. Pitt has Smith and Lane, each with 4 fouls playing. Grice has already fouled out for Villanova. Plansky has 4. Shot clock, it's 12. Gore. Rebound Villanova, but losing it out of bounds is Villanova. Do they say Pitt touched it out last? It is Villanova's ball with 2:38 remaining.
Look for Goodson, number 11, to chase Jensen all around the court defensively. The rest of the Pitt defense in a 1-3 zone defense.
West, Doug West, and it's 80-77. Villanova cuts it to 3 on West's 3-pointer from downtown. West with 20 points.
Villanova took the timeout after they made that field goal to set up their defense. Villanova won't quit in this game. We're down to a 3-point game. Stay with us.
I'm Jimmy Connors, and it's about time you met my partner, my financial side.
All successful people and companies have a financial side.
Let's go, partner.
But to really be a winning team, you might need some help.
We need some help.
You need Payne Weber behind you for financial expertise, sound advice. We believe the quality of life just might depend on the quality of your financial services.
Thank you, Payne Weber. You're awfully stiff. You've got to loosen up a little bit.
This one of them Japanese imports?
Hi, Colt Premier.
Mitsubishi-built Colt Premier. It's fun to drive.
Oh, Tomashina.
Has the boost of optional turbo.
Sugoi turbo da.
It's luxurious. And imported only for Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge dealers. Colt.
Sayonara.
It's all the Japanese you need to know.
Is that Japanese?
It's Tokyo in Japan.
Huh?
200 years ago, pioneers saw a bright future beyond the Allegheny Mountains. Part of their vision was a frontier academy for the village of Pittsburgh. Today, Pitt's campus of the future uses a unique network of optic fibers to open new frontiers in medicine, the sciences, and the arts. The University of Pittsburgh, 200 years of pioneering the future.
There's an exciting new way of selling cars today, a way that allows you to have a car that meets your budget needs, yet eliminates the weight of special ordering. In Valley Buick's design department, countless hours are spent equipping our car with options that can make an ordinary car an extraordinary car, and in more cases than not, for just a few dollars more a month. After all, at Valley Buick, we believe that just because you're on a tight budget, your car shouldn't announce it to the world. The Valley Buick Touch. It's like special ordering without the weight.
It was that foul by Plansky, number 5. As you can see, his reaction. He's dejected on the bench, but he has nothing to hang his head about. Once again, another hard-fought effort by Plansky. Charles Smith back into the game with 4 personals. We'll see if that rest has made him rusty on the bench.
One of 3 Pitt players with 18 points tonight. Jerome Lane and Mike Goodson also at 18. But Charles now can run it upwards from there. It rattled.
But he'll take it.
But everybody would take a shot like that.
He had the game-winning free throws with seconds left on the clock against Syracuse. And in the Pitt win at Villanova at the DuPont Pavilion, the big block shot. So 1-on-1.
Second, nothing but cord that time, and it's 82-77, Pitt by 5. But don't go away because Villanova can shoot the perimeter shot. West, a three-pointer again, and it's 82-80. Villanova trails by 2.
Villanova going to the three-pointer. West and Jensen have made 4 in a row now from the field.
A minute 45 left.
They're trading 3 points for 2 right now. Villanova is, as they sit in their zone. Rolly Massimino wants it back so that they can limit Pitt to 1 shot. And Pitt will work the 45-second shot clock. Both teams with a lot of timeouts left.
It's down to 20 seconds, the shot clock is. 1:27 on the game clock.
Try to get it into Smith after the clock runs down. There he is.
Back out to Goodson. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Smith. Yes, indeed. Charles Smith in the basketball game, 22 points. A minute 12 remaining. Pitt leads 84-80.
Look for Villanova to go to the three-pointer again. Goodson still playing Jensen man-to-man. West has been the guy to take over, and then Villanova, if they can get it off, will call another timeout.
A minute in the game. 32 seconds on the shot clock. Gore got a piece of it. Wilson's shot partially blocked and a foul by West. West has 4. Seconds left. Rod Brooken going to the line. The freshman from Steelton is 1 for 2 tonight, 74% on the year.
Good deflection by Gore. The ball went to Brooken, and then on the ensuing play, West came over the back to commit the personal.
Rod Brooken, the first to the 1-and-1. It's 85-80.
This kid's a clutch performer. So inside that BC game up, he doesn't show much emotion on the court, but he's not afraid to take the big one.
Next one will put him in double figures. 86-80. Connolly Brown will check into the Villanova Wildcat lineup. The Cats trailing by 6 at 53 seconds remaining.
Rolly Massimino making offensive and defensive substitutions, taking Maker out on the offensive end. He may go back in defensively for rebounding. Pitt complaining that they shouldn't have been able to get a substitution in after the made free throw.
Now Peter Pavia will check with his crew of officials, Art McDonald and Roger Paramore.
I don't know if Brown ever checked in. The next thing I knew, I looked up and he was running onto the floor.
And they're going to make Maker stay in the ball game because the substitution was not called for.
You need a whistle.
Bench won the argument.
You need a whistle. That was a made free throw. Nova taking the ball out, and Brown just ran into the game.
50 seconds as Kenny Wilson comes forecourt.
Nova needs a quick one in a timeout.
Jensen over Goodson. Harold Jensen. And they call time to the Wildcats at 43 seconds. It's 86-82.
What a gutsy game by Villanova. They won't quit in the game, and they keep coming back. Jensen now with 26, West with 20, 23, I should say, with a couple of three-pointers in a row. Pitt, though, in this ballgame has had too much muscle inside, and during crunch time, they've really gone down to their bread and butter player, Charles Smith. Wildcats still have 2 timeouts left. I still have Pitt with all 4 of their timeouts.
That's correct. Wildcats trail at 86-82. Career high for Harold Jensen. Well, he's got it. We've got him with 25 points. You've got him with 26. His previous high was against South Carolina. Was 24 points, so he's got a career high one way or the other.
One way or the other. We have him over that. My numbers are unofficial. Villanova will come out with full court pressure, try to create a 5-second call, try to get a steal on the inbounds. If not, they may be talking about who to reach in on. And in this particular ball game, Jerome Lane would be a good candidate to reach in. He's 50% from the line in this game.
Villanova has called its second timeout. The Cats have 2 remaining. Pitt needing this game very much to clinch a tie for the Big East championship.
Shot clock is off. We're at 43 seconds left in the game. Villanova will need a quick reach in if they can't come up with a steal or create a 5 seconds call.
Brookin will be the man to try to key it in with pressure by Jensen. And here we go against pressure. The ball comes in deep to Smith. Smith back to Brookin, the trigger man. 40 seconds as Brookin goes forecourt, and he's fouled by Jensen. Jensen commits his second personal foul at 38 seconds. Brookin